We are here with another video today. We're not gonna do a Madden video. I'm like not taking a break from it because I'm gonna have something dropping tomorrow. But one thing I want to test out is every Saturday uploading at least something that's different than normal. And you read the title. We're gonna try to. It's been a crazy off season going on. I found a tier list where I can rank the moves that's been going on. It's a bit dated. It's like a few days dated, which I mean, you know, in the free agency world, a few days, there's a lot going on. Like, it's stuff like Keenan Allen missing from here going to the Bears, which is huge. Like, that might put the Bears, in my opinion, in at least the top 4 rankings, so to speak, when it comes to, like, how stacked an offense is just on paper in the NFC. Outside of Dallas and Philly and San Francisco, man, I'm not taking Detroit on paper. Now, this is on paper because we don't know how all this stuff gonna go. Still, more moves need to be made. We don't know I don't think they're doing anything with Fields. So I think they're keeping Fields. So we don't know what these teams' final roster is. So we can kind of only go off paper now. The Lions not rocking with them. The Packers, they not rocking with them. Tampa Bay, they not rocking with the Bears. And all these other teams that look somewhat decent, supposed to be better than the Bears last year, I don't see them doing it. I'm not being biased just because I'm from like the Chicago area, but I don't. Now the Bears made a move, but we don't have that on this tier list. I'm only gonna rank the moves that's up here. So we just gonna go ahead and just hop right into this first one. Gabe Davis going to Jacksonville. I'm gonna give that a B. He's a nice target. He's giving Trevor Lawrence something more to work with now that they did just lose Calvin Ridley to Tennessee. But as far as like what Jacksonville is going to do, I don't see much upside from them. Like, granted, their season last year ended the way that it did. Do I feel like they're going to repeat that same fall off at the end? No, not necessarily. However, the time is now, basically. Like, the time is now for Jacksonville as far as whether or not they're going to just keep maintaining what they've been doing as far as, like, staying relevant. Because you don't want that season that they made the playoffs against the Chargers and wound up beating them after being down 28-0, whatever the score was, to be, like, another one-and-done season. Because they just had that in 2018 or the 2017 season, 2018 playoffs. Like, Jacksonville, they haven't ever really showed too much consistency. Now, back to the move. Do I like the move? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we kind of did get the same hype for Calvin, really, 2 different players. But it's like, is a new receiver going to fix everything that's going on over there? Not necessarily. But, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Josh Jacobs going to Green Bay. I don't want to fall for the hype train, but man, we talking about one of, if not, well, some people could argue he's their pick for the best back in the league. I'm more of a McCaffrey kind of guy, but that him with Jordan Love, who's on the up and coming, Romeo Doubs, who's nice, Christian Watson, who's he's favorable. He's kind of just more of a Madden dog, but he be making some big plays when needed. Along with the whole overall core of the Packers is still extremely young. Like, I want to say Josh Jacobs might be the oldest person on that roster offensively. So that's a nice move for the Packers if they can at least, because they made the playoffs and they made it all the way to a game away from the championship. That's nice. That's gonna boost them for sure. Pollard to the Titans. Now, don't get me wrong. Pollard, he kind of fell off a bit since Zeke wasn't there. Not saying he ain't shit, but we see, like, in Dallas, he wasn't who he was when he was just sharing carries as opposed to being the main back getting the ball. But what I will say is, though, Tennessee is actually cooking some up over there because now you have D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, and Tony Pollard over there. You lost Henry. Is Pollard going to replace Henry? No, but for everything you got, the Titans are better off in the future than what they were last year. I'm not sold on Will Levis, but they find some kind of way to get them any kind of quarterback, or if he does pan out, the Titans, they going to be somebody to watch out for. DeAndre Swift to the Bears. I wonder if I was to do an offseason ranking for teams. I'm gonna wait to do that till the complete offseason over with drafts and everything. I would put it in S. I'm only gonna put it in A because Swift, he's a nice, very nice back for the Bears. Is he gonna do more for the Bears than what David Montgomery's doing, seeing as he's getting paid what Montgomery was roughly around asking? I mean, it's a possibility. He's extremely nice. I'm not sleeping on him. But what I will say is he's going to fit better on the premises of like now they have a lot of other pieces on offense to kind of keep a defense honest. Like, and I love saying keeping defense honest because that's what you got to do. When you got pieces on offense, like in the backfield, and you have receivers and tight ends and the offensive line that can help out and the quarterback in Justin Fields, and like everything is moving in one motion, you can't really pinpoint anything. With the Bears, they literally didn't do shit but like damn near run the ball majority of the game, even in insane situations like David Montgomery. I feel like even the same with Fields. I mean, even Trubisky, it's like damn, it sucks that now these people is getting weapons. But I wish Montgomery could have played with more talent around him to kind of open up the run a little bit more for him because he wasn't that bad. Russell Wilson to the Steelers, I'm gonna give this a B. Am I 100% like not sold on Russell Wilson anymore? No, he didn't have a bad season last season, and now he has a great head coach in Mike Tomlin. Sean Payton, he's my guy with the Saints. It's looking more and more like Breeze kind of carried Payton a bit. Not taking nothing from Payton, because Payton was still a dog head coach, but it's like, are you really though? Like, granted, it's a whole different roster than what the Saints was working with, but it's just we ain't really seeing much. So it's like, but then when you go back to Seattle, staying on top of Russell Wilson, when you go back to Seattle, he was getting carried by the defense. So it's to the point. I mean, the man didn't even win Super Bowl MVP. Not saying if you don't win MVP, you not shit, but we know how they love to get MVP to the quarterbacks. I don't. I'm gonna have to give that one a B. I don't want to be petty and give it a C, but I'm gonna have to give it a B. I'm gonna have to be sold on someone. I don't think that's gonna really change much in Pittsburgh. I think it's just selling false hope at this point. Mac Jones to the Jags. Who gives a fuck? Saquon to Philly. Saquon and Jalen Hurts running that option? And Philly just running the ball in general, and you know Saquon has hands for a running back, and you can catch out of the backfield. Sirianni has to get creative. That's what it's going to come down to. The move for Saquon to Philly is definitely S tier. It's going to come down to what Sirianni does. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to give Kirk Cousins to the Falcons a B. And the reason why I'm going to give it a B, I'm not sleeping on Kirk Cousins. Like, those who know about Kirk Cousins know about Kirk Cousins. Now, I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, Mahomes, or even CJ Stroud or none of that type of level. But he's going to get the job done. He's going to get the Falcons to the playoffs. And as much as I hate to say that, he's going to get them to the playoffs. As wide open as this division is, now it's going to kind of be like between him and Baker Mayfield, who can really win out that division. They have a lot of weapons in Atlanta. You got Bijan, Kyle Pitts. They got rid of Matt Collins, but who cares about him? Drake London. Who the receiver they just got? They just got a receiver. Not Taylor Gabriel. I don't know why I was going to say Taylor Gabriel. Darnell Mooney from the Bears. It's some weapons with Cousins, and we've seen with Minnesota that you give Kirk Cousins some weapons, he's going to at least get you to the playoffs or get you in that conversation. Are they going to do anything much in the playoffs? That's to go from there. At that point, it's all about matchups. The Packers ain't sweet no more when it comes to matchup. You got Philly, you got the Bears, you got Detroit. You have, that's damn near that whole division outside of Minnesota. Then you still got Philly, Dallas, San Francisco. Like when it comes, yeah, it's you. I don't know if he's gonna be able to win out those games. If he's gonna beat out those teams, that's just gonna come down to the right situation, opportunity. But as far as getting the Falcons to the playoffs, he's definitely gonna do that. So it's a B move. I don't want to say an A, only because of the fact that they literally made it known that they weren't interested in Justin Fields and they'd rather have Kirk Cousins over Fields. That's crazy. Fields with that offense, you're fucking crazy. All right, Aaron Jones on the Vikings. It's a C. I don't understand where they're going, cause Jefferson staying on the Vikings isn't looking that bright as of right now. A lot of things have just been rumors, not nothing that's actually even like no real trade talks to my understanding. But Minnesota, in my opinion, they've been on decline for a minute. Granted, they have Addison, who look real good. So if they do keep Jefferson, and they're building forth with a quarterback, like they're gonna get that situation fixed and worked out together, and get their quarterback situation under control, then I'm gonna give it a B. Cause I ain't gonna shit on Aaron Jones. I ain't gonna shit on him, cause it ain't like he was ass without Aaron Rodgers. I ain't gonna shit on him. They're gonna have to fix that quarterback situation, which right now I'm just gonna skip right to it. Who cares about Sam Darnold? Jerry Jeudy to Cleveland. I'm gonna go C, man. He gonna have to show me something. He really didn't amount to much in Denver compared to what he was hyped up to be, like where he was coming from Bama. But he is playing behind Amari Cooper, so it should open up some more stuff for him. I mean, he was playing behind Cortland Sutton, and like it ain't like he's new to being that wide receiver number 2. Better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, but definitely, than what he's been working with out of all the quarterbacks, maybe besides not Russell Wilson. So there's some opportunity for him to have some kind of upside there, but anything beyond that, I got to give Baker Mayfield getting re-signed an A, only because Baker Mayfield is now really trying to put himself, like he's trying to create a path for his career that he was quote unquote supposed to have. Coming out of getting drafted on Cleveland and everything, I like the fact that they're kind of like really sticking with Baker Mayfield. I was hoping he could actually somewhat find a home in Tampa Bay after being bounced around to 2 or 3 different teams in one season. I'm glad like he had the season he did for Tampa Bay. I really don't like the Bucks just off the strength that I like the Saints, but I for sure am happy for him and what he was able to do with that. Pittman signing a 3-year extension with the Colts. I'm going to put that up there. Me personally, I like Pittman as a receiver. He's a very, very big target, nice jump ball catcher. Now you have Anthony Richardson. You still got Jonathan Taylor. You have Alec Pierce. You have like solid people to work with. The Colts, they're not to be toyed with either. Anthony Richardson's finna have him a season this year. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to hold on to it. I ain't going to discuss it too much longer because I'm glad that the Colts are keeping him to extend out, like give that offense a real chance. They got something with that one. I ain't going to lie. They for sure got something. Chris Jones, he got that big ass bag. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to have to go A. I want to do S. Fuck, let's do S too. Let's do S. You got a big bag. You just only right you paid a big amount of money to a player like Chris Jones after a repeat. They locking that up. The Chiefs, they're going to keep rolling. I ain't even going to hold on to that conversation for a long time. Chiefs going to keep rolling. The Commanders, see, I'm going to give the Commanders a C on this Eckler move. Eckler was a nice pickup for the Commanders. Dog, they have had the most cap space. And their best signing was signing Austin Eckler, who, my boy and all, don't get me wrong, but he's past his prime at this point. They are literally cooking up nothing over there. Like, they're on to nothing in Washington. I don't know what the fuck they got going on. Gardner Minshew, I give that a C just to stay safe. It ain't no huge surprise. I mean, their quarterback situation, I want to see what they're going to do in the draft. But as far as Gardner Minshew, I can see him just being like a backup damn near if they do grab one of these quarterbacks in this draft. So it was news that the Bengals was releasing Joe Mixon, but they didn't release Joe Mixon. They traded him to the Texans. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, here we go right here. I'm gonna put those side by side. Yeah. They serious. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, CJ Stroud. Oh my God, CJ Stroud. Don't get me started on CJ Stroud. Then that defense, and then I'll see like they don't have the what the fuck? They don't have the Danielle Hunter move on here. I see Aaron Jones up here again. They don't have the Danielle Hunter move up here. The Texans are for real, bro. They're for real right now. They are so for real. The Chargers getting Gus Edwards. He's a great back. I really loved him with Baltimore. I wish we would have used him more in the playoffs. I don't know why we abandoned running the ball at all. But he's a good pickup for the Chargers. But it's like, I mean, they're in rebuild mode for sure. They got rid of everybody, got in a new head coach. They in rebuild mode. I feel like he's a good back just to last you. Will he be with the finished product, so to speak, when they're ready to compete? It depends on how fast they progress. But he's a nice pickup. Heavy sleeper. I wish, honestly, we could have paid him, to be honest. Well, I'm finna get to that one in a minute. I see they saved the best for last. Devin Singletary to the Giants. Who fucking asked? Mariota to the Commanders. You know what? I'm not even gonna edit this. I was gonna make a F tier, and I was gonna move that down. You hear all these quarterbacks' names coming up, and then you have a lot of money, and you go grab Mariota. I don't know. You might as well grab Desmond Ritter. Can I put that back down? No. I'm not putting it in D. This is my opinion. I'm stuck between. I'm putting it in A. I'm stuck between S, A, and B, and I'm gonna explain every single reason why. Why would I put it in S tier? For obvious reasons. The team was already stacked. You want to go grab a person who's in the discussion for best running back in the league, along with Josh Jacobs and McCaffrey. You got Derrick Henry. Obvious reasons. Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna explain that one. Then you could put it A tier. More realistic. It's not like, oh, this is 100% hands down going to put the Ravens over the top because of the fact that we were already number one in borderline. I don't want to say just absolutely everything, so I'm saying borderline everything. We was the number one run team in the league. So it's like, okay, this is an example of the rich getting richer. You know, it's a great run team getting a great running back. It ain't like it's us signing Lamar Jackson. It's us signing Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Not because the big quarterback move. But the reason I want to go B, and this is my opinion, it's the fan side of me talking, but it's also a realistic side. If we were number one in rushing altogether, clearly running isn't an issue. Could our running have been better against the Chiefs? Undoubtedly. It could have been way better against the Chiefs. But it wasn't poor against the Chiefs. It was non-attempted. We ran the ball 6 times against the Chiefs. We averaged I want to say 31 carries as a team. I will say our team carries has been maybe about 13 or 14 against the Chiefs. But a good chunk of those was Lamar Jackson. Outside of Lamar Jackson, we ran the ball 6 times. 3 times with Gus Edwards and 3 times with, I want to say, Justice Hill or whoever the running back was. I can't even remember right now. We just didn't run it enough. We can't pass. We can pass, but it's like, we're going to need more than Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Andrews speaks for itself. Likely, if you don't know, you should know about him. He's a dog too, backing up Mark Andrews. And he took off when Mark Andrews was out and he was injured towards the back end of the season. Likely stepped up and he did what he needed to do. Zay Flowers, we all know about Zay Flowers. We don't even speak about that one. But and there's nothing wrong with him being wide receiver number one. But you're gonna with Zay Flowers, with him being a shorter and the smaller frame receiver, you're going to need somebody at either his caliber or better for that to work out. You know what I mean? Because like you're not gonna, a short receiver is not going to carry a receiving room full of nothing for a run heavy team. It's not going to happen. Like if it is, it's very, very rare cases. You know what I mean? We need a receiver. Like, okay, we have Andrews and Likely. Fuck a tight end. We need a receiver. Yes, Henry is a great move, but we didn't need a premier running back. We need a receiver. Granted, we have the draft coming up. Cool, that's perfectly fine. So I'm not going to get too worked up now, but if we go into the beginning of this season and Lamar Jackson still does not have what word I want to use? A competent receiver room, bro. Them other receivers on the Ravens ain't it, man. They not, bro. They're not it. Like, we need another receiver. So that's why I was thinking about putting it in B, because it's like Henry's a great pickup, but it's like, bro, like, you trying to fly somewhere, so you go to buy another car. No, buy a fucking plane ticket, bro. Like, we don't need Derrick Henry. Henry never hurts to have on your team. Trust me. The dynamic and how different our offense is going to be with Henry, oh, for sure. For sure he's going to help out tremendously. But if we're going to abandon the run, this is just going off the crazy coaching Harbaugh did against the Chiefs. If we're going to abandon the run, or if it's any situation where we need to abandon the run, who are we going to throw it to? Henry's not the greatest receiving back. Far from it. Who are we going to throw it to? That's why I can't. So by me battling putting it in S, putting it in S tier, or the A tier, or even the B tier, I'm just going to go ahead, play it safe in the middle, and put it in the A tier. Like I said, this was a different video than I've ever posted on this channel before. One that isn't requiring me to play the game at all, and I kind of like it. It's just, it allows me to just express my opinion on football at a proper time. I really can't express any of my opinions while I'm playing Madden, because like, why would I talk about Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons while I'm using the Dolphins or whatever? You know what I mean? But I feel like it can make me connect a little bit more, and really, like I said, give my opinion on certain things going on in the NFL, give certain takes, just really just show you guys the outside version instead of just me playing the game all the time. I do want to make this like a maybe every Saturday thing, or maybe twice a week. Who knows how often I do this. I just want to kind of experiment and dibble and dabble with it right now. If you enjoyed the video, a like on the video would be appreciated. A subscription, I would appreciate that even more. Well, I say even more, but you know what I mean. And it's free to unsubscribe if you don't like what you see. But with that being said, appreciate you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video to drop. Click the bell to be notified when it does.